Hi, Brynny. Grandma has another book for you, and this book is called Amber on the Mountain by Toni Johnston. And this is a story about a little girl named Amber, and she lived way, way up on the top of a mountain, really, really far away from the rest of the world. Like, she didn't have any friends up there, there was no school up there. She really didn't have much money, so she didn't have a lot of toys. She didn't have a lot of books. She didn't know how to read or write, anything like that. And she was kind of lonely. So we're going to learn about Amber on the mountain. Remember when Grandma lived up on the mountain? I loved living up on the mountain. So let's see what her life is like. Okay, Amber on the mountain. Oh, I love these pictures. Look at these pictures. Let's see, it's kind of shiny. There. See the cows? Amber lived on a mountain so high that it poked through the clouds like a needle stuck in down. Trees bristled on it like porcupine quills, and the air made you giddy. It was that clear. Still, for all that soaring beauty, Amber was lonesome. For mountain people lived scattered far from one another, so there was no one near her. Once a man came on horseback to teach the people to read and write. Oh, how Amber wanted to learn to read and write. Books would be good company. But mountain life was too hard for the man, and he left his supplies behind and skedaddled before winter came. One day, another man came with a crew to build a road. His wife and his daughter, Anna, came too. Amber's Granny Cotton told the man straight out, "You can't build a road here. Folks will roll clean off it, like walking up a wall." But the man said, "You can do almost anything you fix your mind on." And he fixed his mind on building that road. See the chickens and the horses? Grandma loves horses. All right, so think he's going to build that road? I don't know. Now, Amber, there's Amber, and she sees Anna. Now, Amber had seen Anna with her family inching their way up the mountain, and she wanted to be friends. But Amber was shy. "I'll say hey to her when the time is right," Amber thought. Meanwhile, she watched Anna biding her time, and one day Amber was watching. Anna lay flopped on her stomach in a meadow reading a book. The sky was streaked with morning, and the air was warm. The grass hummed with bees. Suddenly, up jumped Anna, shouting, "Once upon a time!" and hopping around crazy as a doodlebug. Amber decided the time was right to say hey. "Hey," she called, "are you crazy?" "Sure," Anna called back. "Crazy with spring. Hey yourself." "What are you shouting?" asked Amber. "A story from my book. It's about a princess spinning gold." "Might I hold it?" Amber asked. "Sure." Amber took the book as if it were a fine breakable cup. She examined the pages. "This tells of a princess?" "Truly?" she asked. "Yep, you want to read it?" "I don't know how," Amber said. "There's no school hereabouts." "Oh, yeah, I forgot," said Anna. She stared at Amber, and a stubborn look came into her eyes. Amber giggled. "You look like our mule, Rockhead. When old Rockhead looks balkedy, he's up to something sure." "Well, I am up to something," said Anna. "Daddy says you can do almost anything you fix your mind on. and I've just fixed my mind on teaching you how to read." "For real and true?" cried Amber. "For real and true." Anna began shouting from the book again, and Amber joined in, and then they twirled through the grass, crazy as two doodlebugs. After that, Anna and Amber, stuck to each other like burrs, and when Amber did her chores, Anna helped, and she learned to slop the pigs and milk the goat and gather eggs. And when Granny needed young eyes to help her with quilting, the girls sat on either side of her, poking little silver needles in and out, sewing. They're helping Grandma make a blanket. That's a pretty quilt. Such pretty pictures in here. I love this picture. This is my favorite one. Look. The girls are riding bareback on the horse. Wait a minute. There we go. There it is. Whatever else they did, every day they practiced reading. Learning to read was like walking up a wall. Amber kept rolling off. "These marks are like the chicken tracks in our yard," she moaned. "I know for a fact chickens don't write notes to each other. Are you certain those letters mean something?" "Certain sure," Anna smiled. Sometimes Amber read a few words, and then she stumbled. Wait a minute, let's get this where you can see it. There we go. Then she stumbled, and sometimes she forgot the words and had to start all over. But she was so eager. She hurried and she tangled the words like quilting thread. "Oh, drat," Amber grumbled. "I plain can't do this." "Yes, you can," said Anna. "Just pretend you're old Rockhead and set yourself to the task." So Amber stiffened up mulish as could be. Anna howled with delight. Now that is the face of a reader. See how she's trying so hard looking at that book. And one day, one very fine day, Amber took the book and read. And he stamped his foot through the floor and was never seen again. The end. There we go. "You did it," hooted Anna. "You read all by yourself." I read. And the girls marched around, stomping their feet like Rumpelstiltskin. Suddenly, Anna stopped. She stared at Amber. "Just what notion have you now, Miss Rockhead?" Amber asked. "Now I've fixed my mind on teaching you to write," said Anna. "You think she can learn how to write too?" But that was not to be. The road was finished. Anna and her family were going home now. When the day of parting came, each gave the other a gift. Anna gave Amber her book of fairy tales, and Amber gave Anna a little clay mule. And then Amber watched her friend down the mountain till she melted into blue mountain mist. That's hard. She had to say goodbye to her only friend on the mountain. I bet she felt really sad. But that was nice that Anna left the book with her. Many months passed. Mountain people went down the road and learned the ease of city ways. City people came up the road and learned the beauty of mountain ways. And funny thing, not one solitary soul rolled off the road. From time to time, up on the mountain, Amber got a letter from Anna. And then she glowed with happiness. Anna's words set them side by side again. But Amber was sad, too. She missed her friend, and she couldn't tell her so. Then day she got a notion, a wonderful rock-headed notion. "Attention, attention," she announced to the chickens. "I've fixed my mind on learning to write. And soon I'll send Anna a letter frilly as lace, and she'll faint right to the floor." So she's going to try to teach herself how to write. Imagine that. If you had to teach yourself how to read and write and you didn't have any school. The chickens paid no attention, but Amber didn't care. She ran. Let's see, wait a minute. Let's get the picture on there. There we go. She ran straight to Granny, gibbering her news out before she stopped. Granny chuckled. "Child, child, you're peltering me with words, thick as spring rain. I feel drenched." Granny was so pleased. She gave Amber the paper and pencils left behind by the teacher long, long ago. So now Amber has her own pen and pencils and paper and the goat. Whenever she could squeeze in time, Amber took her book and tried to copy words. "If I can read 'em, I can copy 'em," she thought. At first they looked squat and squashed. "My letters are lopsided as a herd of one-horned cows," she groaned. So Amber kept working at it. There she is, practicing and practicing with the goats and the cows in the back. When it snowed and the world outside was muffled in white, she huddled under a quilt so only her hands poked out. Cold and stiff, she kept forming her letters. And when clouds like gray geese flocked in the sky and rain glazed the land, Amber shivered, but she kept working. Her tongue curled to her upper lip in concentration, like a lizard stalking a bug, and she squeezed her pencil nearly to splinters. Her fingers hurt, and still she kept working. And one day, one very fine day, Amber sent a letter to Anna. "Dear Anna, I'm a rockhead too, and I fixed my mind on writing. I teached myself to write so's I can write to you. I hope you faint to the floor. Love from your friend Amber." And soon a letter came back. Let's see. There are the kitties outside in the snow watching her write. "Dear my friend Rockhead, your letter made me faint right through the floor. Like you know who. It made me happy, and you are not far away anymore. Love from your friend Anna." So she learned how to write and read and made a friend. And she and her friend write back and forth to each other still to this day. So I hope you liked that story. I hope you liked all the pictures in it. I love the artwork in that picture. And the paintings in this book were done by a man named Robert Duncan.